Bears Now mailbag time here on Chicago Bears Now. I'm Harrison Graham. Johnny Bland kicks us off. He says, would you trade a 2025 second-round pick for Trey Hendrickson? Maybe if it was the Bears. I don't think I would want to trade that Carolina pick. We talked before the draft when Trey Hendrickson requested a trade that, hey, could you flip 75? Would that be enough to get the Cincinnati Bengals edge rusher who did request a trade? He is going to be 30 later this year, I think, but damn, he's still good. I mean, 3 of the last 4 years, 13 and a half sacks or more. He's been absolutely fantastic in a down year, quote unquote, still at 8 back in 2022. Arguably the best year of his career last year was 17 and a half. It's fun to think about him opposite of Montez Sweat. Now, if you trade for him, you probably got to commit to some sort of an extension. Are you throwing $25 million per year for another edge rusher? That might be what it takes. I don't know. That'd be a question for Ryan Poles, but man, he's a stud. And you add him to this defensive line, you pretty much have no weaknesses on that defense. I mean, even if Gervon Dexter's just average at 3-tech, like you're so dominant on the edge, he's going to win a decent amount as well. Would you trade a 2025 second-round pick for Trey Hendrickson? What say you? Type Y for yes, or you can type in for no. Curious what you guys think down in the comments section. Super chat here from Jack. Appreciate the 5. Just wondering, what's the content outlook that will be now that the draft is over? Well, first of all, subscribe to the channel. We'll still plug out daily videos. Look, you got rookie minicamp next week, so we'll cover that. Anything football related we'll cover. Schedule release is supposed to be next week. That's not official, but it sounds like it will be. You got rookie minicamp coming up next week, into next week as well, all the OTAs. And, news, rumors that continue to fly around if the Bears sign any players. We'll come up with some segments as well. It's our 4th year doing this, 5th year doing this almost, so this isn't anything new for us. But, yeah, this is kind of the creative time of the year. So your guys' input, segment ideas, we love that stuff. Throw them our way, and sometimes we'll be able to do it for you guys. Bears goated, hashtag Bears. If the Bears are cooking at the deadline and the Raiders are struggling, what would it realistically take to trade for Maxx Crosby? I mean, do you give him your first and one of your seconds? That's probably what you're looking at. I mean, the guy's a superstar. Your first, maybe your first and your own second. You keep the Carolina second. Does that get it done? Maybe. It's a big price to pay, but Crosby might be worth it. Like, if you feel like at the deadline you're a big-time pass rusher away from being a dangerous, deep playoff team, then I could see the Bears doing that. That's why that extra second-round pick is so valuable. We've seen Ryan Poles make trades the last 2 deadlines when they haven't been great. Now that they could be a good team, imagine what he'd be willing to do for the right player. Edward, when do you think they will drop the schedule? The rumor is, and depending on when you're watching this, the NFL may have already announced when they're going to drop it. The rumor is May 9th. So that's a week from Thursday. If you're watching on the second live, it usually is on a Thursday, so I think it'll either be the 9th or the 16th. But the chatter has been the 9th. And last year, I actually looked this up. They didn't announce that they were releasing the schedule until 3 days before. So, like, they could announce on Monday the 6th, hey, we're dropping the schedule Thursday the 9th. So be on the lookout this weekend. If we don't hear anything by Monday, then maybe it's the following week. Gage Molinari, who do you think will have the most receiving yards for the Bears? I've really been thinking about this. You would think DJ Moore, and that's still probably the betting favorite if if that was a betting thing available, which some books might be. But I think it would not shock me if it was Keenan Allen. Just a guy who consistently gets those clean releases and gets open, but he also is a little more injury prone. So I would still say DJ, but it wouldn't shock me if it was Keenan Allen. It'll be one of those two. I don't think Rome Odunze as a rookie will do it. If he does, wow, this team is going to be special. Shout out to PrizePicks for sponsoring today's show. You can check out more or less season-long projections there for Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, and others. Some of those are out, including one we'll get to in a second. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use the code CLNS to get a deposit match up to $100. NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, Major League Baseball, NFL season-long stat projections, they're all available. And that's how it goes. Pick more, pick less on the stats that are being thrown at you. So we got DeAndre Swift more than 850.5 rushing yards. I think he's going to really have a good year, especially if this passing attack gets going. It's going to be lighter boxes. He should have high yards per carry, which should help. I'm going to go more on Amon-Ra St. Brown, touchdown receptions. He's a good player. I think he hits at least 8. More on that as well. So 10 to win 30, simple 2-player entry where you win 3 times your entry. I put $10 on that so I could win 30. You can win up to 100 times your entry on certain plays right now with PrizePicks. Get started today at prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use the code CLNS to get that first deposit match up to $100. 3 million active users on the daily with PrizePicks. You should be one of them. Play, pick more, pick less. PrizePicks, prizepicks.com/CLNS. All right, James Kinsella, if the Bears miss the playoffs, did Eberflus get fired? I don't think so that simply. Now, I don't know if the defense took a major step back and if he seemed to lose control of the team. Yes, like he could, but like if the Bears are 8-9 or something or 9-8 and they barely miss the playoffs, I don't think he's getting fired. You don't want to do what you've done in the past where you draft a quarterback and then year 2 he's got a new head coach. You've done that multiple times. You did it with Trubisky. You did it with Justin Fields. So if you weren't going to change head coaches this offseason, I think you almost have to give this thing at least 2 years, unless it's just a disaster and you don't have a choice. Like this team goes 5-12 and it's a mess. Yeah, you may have to scrap the coaching staff and start over. But I'd be pretty surprised. Like I'm not saying I'd be shocked if they missed the playoffs, but I would be pretty surprised if this team won less than like 7 or 8 games. I mean, you won 7 last year and you could have won 10. So I don't see that being the case here. Braden, do you think DeAndre Swift is the Bears running back 5 years from now? No, not 5. I mean, he's already, 4 years into his career? He will not be here 5 years from now. Signed a 3-year deal. He'll be here at least 2 years, probably 3. I'd be surprised if he got another contract here. That's just the way it goes for running backs. So, use them a lot the next couple of years, and by then you'll probably have a different running back. Poppy Chulo Sits, $2 super chat. He says, extend, trade, or let Keenan Allen walk. I mean, I don't think you'll trade him because he's on the last year of his deal. You're not going to move him at the deadline. So it's either extend extend, play the year out, then make a decision, or just play him 1 year and let him walk. I think they're all okay options. If you extend them, cool. You got a really good player for more years. I think that will come down to money. And with Rome Odunze here, you got some insurance. You don't have to extend Keenan Allen. 2, if you play this year out, see how he plays. Does he stay healthy? See what his price tag is before making a decision. Or 3, if you just flat out let him walk, you can play the comp pick formula game. The Bears have been on the wrong side of that the last couple of years as they've been rebuilding their roster. But moving forward, as their roster's in a better spot, they'll probably be signing less guys than they lose at times in free agency. So you could let him walk and get a 3rd or 4th back in terms of draft compensation. You traded a 4th for him, you might come out ahead there. So I think the Bears are in a good spot here. I would probably play this year out unless Allen signs a fairly team-friendly deal before the season and see what happens. Make a decision after the year. Hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 93,000 subscribers here on the channel. If you want daily Bears videos for free, look how close we are. You guys are bringing the heat. Appreciate it. Less than 400 subs away from 93K. Would love to get there before rookie minicamp next week. Help us get there. Daily coverage for free. Wasim. Appreciate the 10, brother. He says, do you think the Bears will sign another edge rusher before the season? Do you think the Bears will set team offensive records? They're not that high. Will Johnny Majors' receiving record be broken? You're talking about Johnny Morris. One at a time here. I do think they'll sign a pass rusher. I don't know who it'll be. It might just be bringing back Yannick Ngakoue, who posted a video of him training, by the way. Looked pretty healthy to me. Calais Campbell, he'd be my top guy. A couple other names out there like Carl Lawson as an option. I don't know if they'll set records as a team in Caleb's rookie year, but it wouldn't shock me if they did. To your point, this has not been an offensive juggernaut in this franchise's history. And, I think Rome Odunze's got a good shot of topping Johnny Morris in his time here, and DJ Moore might as well. Keenan Allen probably won't. I don't think he's reaching 5,000-plus yards as a Bear. He'd probably have to play here 5 years, and that would surprise me. He's already going to be 32 this year. Kayla Pilafas, could Swift be a Pro Bowler, or is his ceiling not high enough? I think he could. I think he's in a great situation, especially if he catches a lot of passes out of the backfield, which his career high is 62 catches. Like, I don't know, go rush for 1,000 yards, catch for 400. probably get you into the Pro Bowl. I think it's possible. DeAndre Swift is a dynamic player who's playing in an offense with a lot of talent around him. He's going to have opportunities. Christian, is there anything at all that concerns you with Caleb? I mean, look, like, there's still things he's never done before. Like, I was listening to someone talk about this on the radio the other day. Like, he's got to take the play in his helmet, which he's never done before, and convey the play to teammates in the huddle. Like, he didn't huddle up much in college. He's got to do under center snaps more than ever before. Like, there's still things, like little things he's going to have to do that he hasn't done. I'm not concerned about his makeup. There was a lot of that, and I don't mean like literal makeup. I mean like his mental makeup. Like, I think he's got all that in check. He wants to be great. He wants to win. I'm not concerned about that at all. You know, there's always a tiny bit of concern with any rookie quarterback because rookie quarterbacks fail all the time. But I think the Bears have done a good job of insulating him with talent. They've added a lot here. He's in a very good situation to be successful. So I'm cautiously optimistic that this is going to end up working. This is an interesting question. Who is the Bears' best player right now? If you had to say today, whenever you're watching this in the month of May, who's their best player right now? I would say it's one of four guys. I would say it's either Jalen Johnson, Montez Sweat, Keenan Allen, or DJ Moore. I think it's one of those. Now, Allen hasn't played here yet, and he's a little older. So, is it DJ, Jalen Johnson? We want it to be Caleb Williams. That's the goal, because if he's your best player, then you got a chance to win Super Bowls. But right now, you can't say that. I think it's one of those four. You guys let me know who you think their best player is. Aaron Wolf, someone beating Curtis Conway's record. We're crossing them, baby. We're crossing them. One can hope, Aaron. One can hope. Be optimistic. There's nothing wrong with that. Jason M., is there anybody out there worth trading for before training camp to bring in? I mean, we talked about Trey Hendrickson. That would be a fun one if he really wanted out of Cincinnati. But what does it cost? How much are you going to have to pay him? That's all stuff that has to factor in. Is there like a smaller trade out there, like a middle round pick or a later pick for like a rotation pass rusher? Coming out with a name on the top of my head is tough. I'm not sure. But, you know, there's always moves that happen, especially once you get into training camp closer to the season. So we'll continue to monitor that. Jinx, where would you currently rank the Bears defense in the NFC? NFC, I mean, just pulling up the standings real quick. I mean, off the top of my head, I would say the Niners probably should get the early nod over Chicago. No one else in the North is better. San Francisco, I think the Bears' defense is better than the Rams, Seahawks, and Cardinals. Tampa, maybe. It's a pretty good defense. Atlanta, decent. But I would put the Bears right there. Dallas and Philadelphia are talented, but I think the Bears are right there. I think it's for sure a top 5 NFC defense. And the only one I would take for sure over the Bears right now is San Francisco. You could say the Bears have the second best defense in the NFC and potentially a top 5 unit in the NFL. Safely, you'd say top 5 in the NFC, top 10 in the NFL. But that's like if they don't take another step forward, which there's reason to believe that they will. Appreciate all of the questions here on Chicago Bears Now. If we didn't get you answered, hit me up on IG at HGramNFL. We are over there, always willing to answer. At HGramNFL if you have any more questions.